Hairy toes aren't uncommon. Hair on your toes is, in the majority of cases, an aesthetic issue rather than a medical one. However, in some cases, it could be a sign of a medical condition, such as an adrenal or ovarian disorder. Keep reading to learn about all possible causes of hair on your toes. If you think you'd be happier with less hair, we also include temporary and permanent removal options. What causes hairy toes? People with hairy toes or feet sometimes refer, with self-deprecating humor, to their feet as hobbit feet. Hobbits are likable characters with large, hairy feet and toes from J.R.R. Tolkien's epic fantasy novels. Although you're probably not as furry-footed as a hobbit, here are some reasons why you might have more hair than most on your toes. Hereditary medication, ovarian disorder, adrenal disorder. Talk to a doctor if you're concerned you may have any of these conditions, which are described in more detail below. A doctor can provide a firm diagnosis for why your toes are hairy and recommend removal options, if that's something you're considering. Heredity genetics can determine how much or how little hair you have, as well as its color, texture, location. If you have hairy toes, chances are you inherited the trait from either of your parents. Medication. Certain medications have side effects that include increased body hair. Although this increase in hair growth will most likely be focused in areas other than those below your ankles, it could be a reason for your hairy toes. Medications that could result in body hair increases include danazol, danacrin, fluoxetine, Prozac, anabolic steroids, synthetic or natural, including testosterone, corticosteroids, including prednisone, Rayos, ovarian disorders with your ovaries contributing to hormone level balance in your body. Some conditions affecting them could result in an increase in body hair. These conditions include ovarian hypertrichosis, ovarian tumors, polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, adrenal disorders. Your adrenal glands produce hormones, including those called androgens, that can trigger body hair growth for both males and females. Body hair growth could be a symptom of one of the following adrenal disorders: adrenal tumors, congenital adrenal hyperplasia, Cushing's syndrome. How to remove hair from your toes temporarily. When it comes to home hair removal, your toes are a relatively easy target. There's typically not as much hair to remove compared to other areas you might want hairless. Many people address their toe hair when they address their leg hair by using a depilatory to dissolve the hair, shaving to cut the hair just above the skin surface, as sugaring or waxing to pluck the hair out of the follicle, just below the skin surface, threading to pluck the hair out of the follicle by moving a twisted loop of thread over the skin. These methods areas are temporary, so the hair on your toes will eventually grow back. How to remove hair from your toes more permanently. To permanently remove the hair from your toes, go to an expert. They can remove unwanted hair in the following ways. Laser treatment destroys the hair follicles with light that delivers immense heat. Electrolysis destroys the hair follicles with a needle probe that transmits an electric current. What does it mean if you start losing the hair on your toes? According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC trusted source, if your toes, feet, and lower legs start losing hair, it could be a sign of poor blood circulation or diabetes. Key takeaways: you most likely inherited your hairy toes from your parents. However, hairy toes might also be a symptom of something else, such as adrenal disorders, ovarian disorders. Medication side effects: see a doctor if you suspect any of the conditions listed above or side effects from a medication you're currently taking. If you're bothered by the hair on your toes, there are a number of hair removal options you can try, including shaving, depilatory, waxing or sugaring, laser hair removal, epilator, electrolysis.